it's been increasingly difficult to actually start a conversation or even talk to someone without mentioning COVID-19. And because a lot of things that we're doing now in every sector has been affected by the COVID-19. So again, once again, when it comes to the property market, one of the things that's been hit by COVID-19 is the way we do the auction. So often you see on the websites, when you go to Rightmove and Zoopla, you've got online auction mentioned in there for the preferred method of sale. So just wanted to give you a little idea, little differences between the live or the traditional auction and the online auction. So I've got a short presentation here about the difference of the two. So let me just take you to the slideshow here, so I can show you the screen share. There we go. Now, okay, and right. So the difference between live and online property auction. Now, if this is the first time that you've been here in this channel, then I'm Pragati, and I am the author of the book Financial Freedom for Immigrants, and the book is all about helping new to property immigrants get on the property ladder as early as possible and start building wealth and passive income through property investment. Okay, so online versus live or the traditional auction. Now, let's start with the traditional auction. This is where you have to go on site. So a traditional auction, you've got to travel to the site. If it was a certain location, then you'd have to travel there, right? So whereas with all the lockdown and businesses being carried out from home, people are being able to do business, carry out businesses from home as well, which has given rise to online auction, which means you don't have to travel on site. So you can do the bidding actually from home or from your mobile phone as well, or even from the telephone. Traditional auctions have got a specific time. So for example, it could be Tuesday, the 31st of January in a certain location, and you have to be there at that particular time. Whereas the online auction, they start at a certain time, but they don't finish. They haven't got that short time. They've got a longer time. They could, the time could be 2 weeks or even longer. So you've got all that time to actually look at it, take your time, do all the research, and do the bidding. So that is a big difference, because you going to buy a property and making a decision within short period of time. Sometimes with the traditional bidding, the bidding could be as short as a couple of minutes, because once the hammer is down, it's sold. Whereas with the online, the bidding can actually go on for like I said, a couple of weeks, even months as well. So now with the transaction, the live or the traditional bidding is a lot quicker when it comes to completing the whole transaction, because they allow 28 days. Once the hammer is down, you do your exchange on the very day, and then 28 days to complete. If you can't complete, then there are certain fines. You will lose some money there. So the chances of the transaction being cancelled is very, very less because of the hefty fines, if you couldn't complete within 28 days. Whereas on the online auction, you actually got 28 days to exchange. So the first fee you pay is once you make the bid, for your bid to be accepted, you have to pay a reservation fee. And if it's accepted, then you've got 28 days to exchange, and then you've got further 28 days to complete. So it's a longer process, pretty much almost like a normal buying process, normal without the auction, it could take 3 to 4 months as well. So with the online auction, because now everyone's got a mobile phone, everyone who is interested in property, has got the access to do the online bidding. Okay, whereas not everybody has the ability and the time to travel to a certain site. If it was a traditional bidding, so if it was, let's say you live in London and the bidding is somewhere in Manchester, for you to go to Manchester for one day to do the bidding, is less likely than you making a bid or an offer through online, through your mobile phone, right? So that creates more competition, okay, for the bidding on online than if you are on site. So if you are a buyer, so the less the competition, the better it is, because obviously you don't have to then go over bidding. You haven't got so much of the competition. With online bidding, like I said, you got 28 days to exchange and the further 28 days to complete. Because of the lengthy time and because you haven't exchanged, the transaction could still be reversed. People can easily change their mind without losing so much of the money. So the guaranteed of the sale is more on the live or the traditional auction than on the online auction. So really, I mean, online auction is more, I think, favorable for those kind of sellers who are seeking maximum price, and the traditional bidding is more favorable for those kind of seller who wants to sell quickly. The speed is more important, and that is what the traditional bidding auction offers. Cost. So with the traditional auction, because there is more cost involved because of the hiring of the venue and all the staffing who work there, so there is extra cost involved when a live or the traditional auction has been arranged. So that cost sometimes is is recovered through fees to both buyers and sellers. So sometimes there might be a little bit extra fees to cover those costs, whereas the online bidding, because there is no physical premises, there's less cost. However, because of the situation we are on, where a lot of people have to do that business from home, the fees are still high, unfortunately. You'd like to think that because of the less cost and there's less fees, but it isn't. And that's what's putting a lot of buyers away from the online auction. So that's just a summary little gist of the main differences between the online and the traditional auction. So I hope that is helpful. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave a comment or send me a direct message. And if you haven't liked or subscribed my channel, please do so, and check out my other videos, which has got a lot of information about property and how to get into the property and property related matters. Thank you once again, and I will see you on the next video.